Hey guys, it's Matt. Thanks very much to Jonathan for finding a Mandela Effect residual evidence piece that will probably rank top 5 of all time. I don't know how I titled this video. You know I'm not one for clickbait. You ever remember me putting clickbait in a title to get somebody to watch? No, I am truly blown away by this, as is Jonathan. I hope the Mandela Effect naysayers will stay with us because I don't see how they can explain this one away. The purpose of my Saturday video, The Human Download, was not to highlight a individual Mandela Effect example like this Looney Tunes, Chuck Jones, Michigan J Frog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey is what exists today. I use that to look at comments on Reddit that highlights tendencies that we can observe in those taking the human download. The human download can be somebody that believes the news. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Mandela effect, but I think they're intertwined. The most obvious examples of the human download that I've ever observed have been in people that have changed all their answers regarding the Mandela effect. So let me tell you the story as to what happened here. Okay, so I do the video on Saturday where I spent more time than I expected looking at this Mandela effect for many people, the Michigan J Frog, hello my darling, hello my honey. Okay. I used the Reddit comments to express different degrees of the human download, like, look, this is the palace guard defending reality, etc. Okay. So I spent too much time on it. It's an anchor effect for some people. We move on. Right. Jonathan approaches me saying, Matt, check this screenshot out. He goes out to the Chuck Jones website, which is still active. He's selling some of his, what do you call it, lithographs or paintings, or I don't know what they're called. They're not stable diffusion. They're the real paintings of his different characters. Chuck Jones was primarily responsible for Looney Tunes throughout the 50s and the 60s. Some of these prints go for $2,000 each. And Jonathan shows me that there's a whole page dedicated to this character, Michigan J Frog, and they're getting it, quote, wrong. In 3 places, it's cited what he's most famous for, hello, my baby, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime gal. 3 times on the page, it is wrong. Now, this is just not some Matt, is anybody saying the creator of the character got it wrong. Is there any Mandela Effect naysayer out there that wants to tell me it was just a mistake, that his admin just made the website? The website looks rather old. The website, I'd like somebody, if anybody could do any sort of analytics, I'll leave a link to the website, the exact page for Michigan J Frog. I don't know how to do analytics on a page, analytics on a page, but how many thousands or potentially tens of thousands of people have seen that page? And then when I discovered it because of what Jonathan sent me, I sent an email to Chuck Jones's staff saying, you got the page wrong. I don't ever mention, I've been through this many times, kind of trying to tell people about the Mandela effect. It never works out. You don't hear back from them. So in my email to them, I'll show you that in just a few minutes coming up, I said, your page that highlights this incredibly important character, Michigan J Frog, you're getting it wrong. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey is what he says. Now, I didn't say anything about the Mandela effect. I know not to at this point because you wouldn't get a reply. 40 minutes later, I get a reply from somebody that works for Chuck Jones in San Diego. Not just that, thank you for highlighting the mistake, Mr. McKinley. We have it all changed and the website's fixed in 40 minutes. Now, there's reasons for this, guys. When there's a massive reality residual / Mandela effect problem, reality will work to correct the problem or erase the residual as quickly as it possibly can. I've seen this before. What you mean reality will erase it? Okay, I'm putting it like that because I this is how I interpret it. I'll explain it later. Yes, I don't think it just magically changed. I think somebody went in and changed the website. But how many websites, corporate websites, or how many websites do you know change when you just send somebody a random email from somebody in 20 states away saying you might have a mistake on your website? in a normal world, if there wasn't reality itself trying to intervene to remove residual evidence, which we see this all the time, then somebody that works for Chuck Jones would say, "Who's our web guy? We haven't seen him for a while. Oh, it's Dave up in Los Angeles. Send an email to Dave. Hey, Dave, by the end of the week, can you fix this?" It wouldn't be 40 minutes just changed. Now, I know it's possible somebody in their little office at Chuck Jones does the website, obviously. But what are the chances? Okay, let's go back and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let me speak for a minute here to some of the Mandela Effect naysayers and anticipate your objections here. So objection one would be, Matt, it's a mistake on a website. It's some obscure character. Who is this Michigan J. Frog character? And they had some intern that was bonged out on drugs doing the website. And just, Matt, when there's a mistake on a website, that doesn't mean all of reality is shifted in retrocausal fashion, you freaks. Okay, that'd be a typical objection. All right, just to reiterate who Chuck Jones is. Bugs Bunny, Merry Melodies, of which there's another Mandela effect that people point to. We're not going to get into that. Daffy Duck, Pepe Le Pew, Roadrunner. Chuck Jones is the guy behind all of that. Coming home from elementary school, was always watching these cartoons coming home from school. Chuck Jones, saw the name for years or decades. Chuck, he is the guy. Okay. Now, I agree. This Michigan J. Frog is not Bugs Bunny. But he's a massive character, just under like Pepe Le Pew, for example, in terms of fame. If you don't believe me, the WB network, the Warner Brothers network, which the weigh-in show, and I don't think it's still around. It started in 1995. The entire network used Michigan J. Frog as their mascot. It was the face of the entire network. In terms of characters that are like B characters, not Bugs Bunny, not Daffy Duck, Michigan J. Frog is a massive character if you're over 50 years old. You've seen the Dancing Frog so many times. You know the cartoon, you know the story where the construction worker finds the dancing frog, but every time the construction worker tries to get it to perform for others, it just sits there and does nothing. But then the people go away, and then it breaks out its top hat. "Hello, my baby," and then starts performing again. And then it was evolved into other cartoons. It is not a tiny little character that's completely forgotten about. It's the face of an entire TV network that was around for like 20-some years. The Chuck Jones website right now sells the paintings, maybe signed by Chuck Jones. He's been dead for like 20 years, but $1,500 or so? For Michigan J. Frog, $1,500. You're going to get that for some little character nobody knows about? No, it's a big character. And that character is defined by 2 lines in a song. That character is defined by "Hello, my baby, hello, my blank," whatever you believe it to be. That is it. Now, it does evolve into other cartoons and sings other ragtime songs, and, they keep going with that. But that is originally what made the character. How many people went to the website and didn't notice anything? All of history records, per the way the Mandela effect works in retrocausal fashion. Even the recording I played for you on Saturday from 1899 clearly says, "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey." So how many people went out to the website maybe to buy the $1,000 painting, and to them it's wrong, right? Because most people are synced up to reality, of course. Most people don't have a remembrance of what existed because you can't even put it like that. Per the definition of the Mandela effect, it's never existed. So, okay, nobody that bought the $1,000 print or whatever I told them, and they fixed it in 40 minutes. How many years has it been wrong? Let's just say nobody went to the website to buy a painting, and Chuck Jones has never sold one of them. How many people in their little company, whoever it's Chuck Jones Enterprises or whatever, whoever got back to me in 40 minutes saying thank you very much, and I looked and the website was fixed. How many people that work for Chuck Jones? Was the website even around when Chuck Jones died in the early 2000s? How many people that work for the damn company or the WB saw that and didn't? I mean, guys, massive residuals like this basically, in my opinion, prove the Mandela effect. To say otherwise is to believe that the creator of a world-renowned, world-famous character, the main page of the creative artist, which is now in his name because he's dead, got the defining moment about a character wrong on the webpage, and who knows how many years it was wrong, until somebody like me just had it fixed in 40 minutes. Really? What about the Bugs Bunny webpage? Should we go there and it says, what's up, Doc? What's up, Dick? It just, we got it wrong. We just got it wrong. Nobody reviewed the web pages, so they just slap them up, even though they're trying to sell paintings for $1,000 to $2,000. World famous characters around the world. What's up? Oh, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We'll change the Bugs Bunny page from "What's up, Dick" back to what it is. "What's up, Doc?" Yeah, sure. This is my email of yesterday to clientservices@chuckjones.com. Just of yesterday. Hi, why does your website here below reference the wrong lyrics? It's "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey." Please reply back to me. Thanks, Matt. And by the way, the little graphic at the bottom says, Michigan J. Frog is one of the most famous creations of Chuck Jones, as the most famous singing frog in history. All right, like 45 minutes later, back to me. Thank you for taking the time to reach out about the lyrics under Michigan J. Frog's character and bringing it to our attention. Yes, the lyrics should read, "Hello, my honey," and we have updated the character page. We hope you continue to enjoy our website. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. Dawn, thanks again, Dawn, Digital Data and Communication Specialist, the Chuck Jones Galleries, San Diego. Dawn, would you like to have a coffee date with me? I'd like to tell you about a change in reality called the Mandela Effect. What do you say, Dawn? Okay, so just minutes later, I go over to the website. There it is. "Hello, my honey." It's changed. They've changed the main part. "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey." However, it is in 3 different spots. The communication specialist did not change the other 2 spots. So as we scroll down here, eventually it will come in just a moment, it still says there, "Hello, my baby, hello, my darling." So look, these residuals will go away. In fact, I'll go out there now just to see if it's all been changed. It likely has been. The Mandela Effect naysayers will argue just like the facts on the ground, if you will. Talking about, Matt, again, like a mistake on a website, Matt, does not mean a change to reality itself. I mean, do you have problems? All these therapy ads on TV and the internet now? How many do you belong to? They completely ignore the fact that thousands or tens of thousands of people or 100,000s of people remember the old reality. That just doesn't come into play in their argument. So it's not just arguing if it's possible that the creator of a character gets the defining characteristic about the character wrong, and we could go back. They won't bring in that, tens of thousands of people are supporting it via their memory, which of course you can't, that is intangible, but that doesn't come into play in the Mandela Effect naysayer argument, which is really disingenuous, if that's even a word. Regarding like Dolly's braces, maybe millions of people have clear memory that Dolly had braces, but in the naysayer's argument, you can't factor that in. That's irrelevant. Well, can I even get? Well, I know it's intangible and you can't prove it's just based on memory, but just the sheer number of people, millions and millions, they're all falling for a psyop. They're all falling for a psyop. They're all confabulation. They're all confabulation? Every single one? How many millions would I need where you would give any sort of credibility or lend any credence to the position of what millions of people are saying? They're all fooled? I could see if it was like 4 people. But millions? Can I just get a little factor in the weight of my argument? Like, can I get a 10% factor? Then I can add to the fact that there was like all sorts of reviews of the best or most famous Bond girls, and some of the ones talk about Dolly having braces in the article. I know that's the tangible stuff that I can use to argue against you, but can I get even a little bit of credit for what millions of people remember? And the naysayers like, no, absolutely not. You get no credit. You'll get nothing Spalding and like it. It doesn't matter if millions of people are saying the same, millions about some Mandela effects. Okay, I know it's not millions for others, or even this one we're talking about today, but it doesn't really matter. Hundreds of thousands, that doesn't mean anything either. It doesn't matter what hundreds of thousands of people are saying, all matching up with the same memory in the same way. That is irrelevant. We got to stick to the facts on the ground. But the Mandela affected people say there really aren't any facts on the ground other than these residuals, because the Mandela affected people admit that all of reality has changed back to the date of change, back to the 1899 recording of "Hello, my baby." Okay, I said I wouldn't do that again. Somebody's like, "Matt, please don't do that again." And I didn't. I stopped. So, well, then how do you explain the residual? We don't know how these residuals happen, why they happen. The barium sweep comes across the Enterprise. Some things are left behind. We don't know. But the residuals in some of these Mandela effects are so massive, to me, it proves the point just via the residual. Every Mandela effect has some major residuals. People have found trademark filings 60 years ago or whatever for Berenstein Bears, where whoever filed the trademark doesn't know the name, like they didn't even know their own name. It doesn't even say Berenstain, it says Berenstein. And anybody's like, "Matt, show me these residuals." Reality works hard to clean up the residuals over time. That is a factor as to what's going on here, as to why I get a response in 40 minutes. Reality, I don't know any other way to say it. Reality in general, quote, doesn't like these major residuals. And reality itself, through the people that are on the download, through its minions, I don't know the mechanism, but it will work hard to clean up any residual that it can clean up. Years ago, somebody sent me a picture of the lion laying down with the lamb as a sculpture outside of a Lancaster County a playhouse of some kind, just maybe 35 or 40 minutes from here. That's a residual that reality can't clean up. The lion lays with the lamb. Now, quote, the wolf lays with the lamb, and all four parts of that line have changed. That it can't clean that up with the lion laying with the lamb in a sculpture. So it has to begrudgingly just let that one alone. But here, it's just a website change. Let's get these people right on. When was the last time some random freak sent an email in just to whatever corporate office or little business, and the website and everything was changed in under an hour? Okay, I understand real people did that. Don't think it just happened naturally or via the intervention of the Chad or the Chat GPT. But reality is nudging. I've observed this too many times. I'll give some other examples if this is going to go a little bit longer. I've seen this happen over and over again. It's one of the reasons I didn't say Mandela effect in my email to them. I simply pointed out that the website was wrong. And the people did it. The people made the change, but I have no other way of putting it. Maybe it gets back to the human download. Reality, it nudged them to do it now. It doesn't like massive residuals lingering, I assure you. Every other time I made the mistake of mentioning the Mandela effect in the comment or in the email and what I sent the person saying they made a mistake. What they did here doesn't match up with current reality. And that, I don't know why that makes it worse. They never get back to me. It just it does change. Like the websites will change, but no one will get back to me. This one I didn't. It was the first one I didn't say, "Do you know what the Mandela effect is?" Or I just kept it out of it. If you start talking about the Mandela effect in the email or in the comment, it gets even stranger. Nobody ever gets back to you. So I am going to keep it out of it or not mention it in the future as this happens again. But one's popping into my mind now. There was a girl that played a cover for Seals. Today's reality is Seals and Crofts, which to me and Greg, that's ridiculous. Summer Breeze, Seals and Croft. Well, when Greg and I were looking at this one years ago, and guys, the residuals we're talking about won't exist today. Again, quote, reality works to clean up the residuals over time. But we went out to, 100 YouTube videos where people were covering Summer Breeze. And like 40% said cover Summer Breeze, Seals and Croft. Had it, quote, the way we remember. It's an anchor effect for some people. Now, if you go out there today, there will be very, very few videos that say Seals and Croft. They'll change, or they'll change overnight. And in this particular example, the girl covering it didn't have many views. So she saw I said, you have the name of the band wrong. It's one of your favorite songs, as you said. And I didn't say it this way, but this is what Mandela affected people. We say this a lot. You covered the song. It's one of your favorites, but you didn't know the name of the band. And if it was just one person making the mistake, then it wouldn't carry much weight, that argument. But when 40% of those covering it get the name of the band wrong, to the Mandela effect naysayers, that doesn't provide any evidence in our favor? Really? Let me bring that disingenuous word back, whatever. I hope it applies. I don't know if really even what it means, but I like it. It's kind of should be put on the Mandela effect naysayers because they're not genuine in how they debate us on this issue. So I told her, I said, per the Mandela effect, you got the name wrong. Anyway, so I went back there a few days later. Her performance was still there. The name on the title had changed. Cover, Summer Breeze, Seals and Crofts with the S, plural. No comment back to me under my comment. She might have removed my comment. That's how it works sometimes. It's if you mention the Mandela effect, it's even stranger. My favorite one was when I sent an email to I don't know, a pastor or reverend, or I don't know who he was. He maintained a website, not like Bible Hub, not some massive thing like Bible Hub, but a smaller website explaining what the Bible means by this chapter and verse, or what did Jesus mean by this. And I looked up, it was the original, as many people are affected with this anchor, judge not lest ye be judged. Changed, I have no other way of saying it, changed to judge not lest ye be not judged. The additional not makes no sense. Again, inferior new reality, but we'll talk about that some other time. And it changed again. Judge not that ye be not judged. So original, it's what everybody remembers, judge not lest ye be judged. Pretty simple, pretty good, right? If you judge, you're going to be judged. To the double negative, which makes no sense. Judge not, lest ye be not judged. Don't make no sense. And the lest, it was a big part of it, a huge part of it. Like gather ye rosebuds, why ye may. That's not from the Bible, but from the famous poem referenced in the Dead Poet Society. Ye is very important. Gather ye rosebuds, why ye may, and it is twice. What if that left? Gather your rose. You got to answer. Gather your rosebuds while you can, you son of a beach. What if it changed to that? We see the ye, lest ye be judged. Now it's just changed to that. Really? So the story is, I sent an email. At the bottom, he says that the Zoom maintains the website. I sent, and he had it in 3 different places. It was wrong. He had the original. I'm glad to find the old residual evidence. What did Jesus mean when Jesus said, judge not, lest ye be judged? Wrote a paragraph or 2, cited it again in the middle. When Jesus said, judge not, lest ye be judged, here's what he was trying to express to his disciples, or whatever. 3 different places he had it. So I sent an email to this guy, and I, again, make the mistake of mentioning the Mandela effect, and, that's just going to... He doesn't reply back to my email, but I go back there a day or 2 later, and he's changed 2 of them, but not the 3rd. And he has it reflected correctly, like the title now. He's changed it per my email to him. What did Jesus mean when he said, judge not, yes, lest ye be not judged? So he had that right, then another part, but just like this WB frog thing, there was another part where he didn't update it properly. And I was like, do I go back to him again, or am I going to go back to the not the WB people, the Chuck Jones people again? No. No, that's done. But it's just strange how you don't ever get it. You never get. I don't have a gigantic sample size of me informing people of these sorts of mistakes, but you'll never get. I have, I've done this several times over the years with people putting things on Etsy that are quote wrong, like a Mandela effect for some people is Jesus is the truth, the way, and the light. I know reality, and all of reality reflects the life. Well, this person had put something on Etsy where I don't know if it was a decal, you make your own T-shirt, an artistic thing she had spent 20 hours working on or more. Jesus, the truth, the way, and the light. So I emailed her. Said, well, that's completely wrong. That doesn't exist in the Bible. And it per the Mandela effect, it never existed. Well, I made the mistake. Every time you do that, you don't get a reply. I think the product just went away. She didn't email me back. It wasn't updated. It couldn't be changed like simply changing a website. It was this decal thing or I don't know, it was an iron-on, I forget, or it was the t-shirt itself, Jesus, the truth, the way, and the light. And I forget her name, was like Cynthia. A lot of people do remember that, but that doesn't exist in reality. And this is this thing called the Mandela effect. Well, I mean, what does she think? And not about somebody approaching her in an email trying to talk about this weird ass thing called the Mandela effect, but what does she think about, like, how did I spend 20 some hours on this and get it wrong? Or does the human download just completely take over and it's like the product just goes away and she wakes up in the morning like it never happened? Who knows? Who knows? But it's another. Have you ever heard me say this one? This is new. Reality gives itself away. Well, we have them. They're coming weekly now. And not just with the Mandela effect, with everything. It's a false reality in so many different ways. Don't tell me about building materials and heavy blocks and stones. That physical explanations don't mean shit to me. I assign no more credence to a 20-ton block than I do a Kit Kat dash at this point. Some of the biggest Mandela effect residuals around the thinker, Rodin's The Thinker, like we've talked about recently. But let me tell you about one we haven't talked about in a few years. Of course, you've got these people posing in front of the thinker, right in front of it, just 2 feet away with their fist to their forehead, which was her anchor effect, what many people remember, where the damn thinker, the statue, 2 feet away from the person, the fist is clearly to underneath the chin. It's not even close, and they're going up to the forehead. But this one of the biggest, if not the biggest Mandela effect residual of all time is, I don't know the year, maybe it was the 30s. George Bernard Shaw poses naked on the side as the thinker with his fist clearly to the top of his forehead. And he actually, not only does this image go worldwide public, he sends it to Rodin. Now, this is the story I remember. I haven't investigated it this morning. I'm 95% sure he knew the sculptor Rodin, or if Rodin had died, he had known him, and he sent it to the foundation, because George Bernard Shaw was one of the biggest, most arrogant intellectual types that just rub you the wrong way, walks into a room and makes sure everybody knows that I'm the smartest one here, all this discourse about how society should run, and he's so smart, and he knew he was so smart. He's so arrogant. This is somebody that would not make a mistake in going out with a picture that would become a world-renowned picture posing as the thinker. This is a person that prides themselves on being smarter than me and you dummies. And this is one of these types of people. If this person was alive today, they'd be some sort of a host on MSNBC right after that horrible cretin, the Lawrence O'Donnell show. That this is the type of person, that type of creature that George Bernard Shaw was. Wouldn't have made that mistake, I assure you. And then he has a pose on the side as the thinker, gets it completely wrong, and then sends it to Rodin himself or the Rodin Foundation. Yeah, I guess that there's no credibility or credence to that sort of argument to the Mandela effect naysayers. Regarding the Mandela effect in general, when somebody comes to me and says, Matt, you're wrong, it's always been, this is the way it's been, they don't understand the Mandela effect. There is no right or wrong answer. And if somebody says to me, this is the way it's always been, Dolly has never had braces. This is the way it's always been, Matt. I remember as a kid. Well, yeah, of course. That's not, all of reality reflects that. So yeah, but if you say it's always been this way, you don't understand the Mandela effect. Because yes, per retrocausal whatever, it has always been that way. And there is no date of change that I can argue for. But of course you're going to remember it as the reality itself reflects it. The person, we have the recording from 1899 saying, hello, my baby, hello, my honey. From 1899, all of reality up to the moment that pen was put to paper reflects a certain thing. So if you say it's always been that way, well, what is that? Is that really a strong argument? Well, yeah, I acknowledge it's always been that way, but people that say that don't understand the Mandela effect, don't understand what the affected are experiencing or seeing. What's most frustrating regarding the Mandela effect naysayers is these are people that are supposed to be in our group. We're supposed to be the biggest of all thinkers, the most open-minded group in the entire world. When I'm talking about Mandela effect naysayers, I'm not talking about the guy down the road that sells you his hot dog with chips who's like, hey, do you know the Mandela effect? I don't expect people off the street to just take to it. They're not. The naysayers I'm talking about are people in our own community. If the people here are supposed to be the biggest thinkers, I've used the same explanation over and over. But if somebody sees auras, I don't. I'm not going to say, well, you're wrong because I don't do it. I don't see it. Usually the Mandela effect naysayers, even our own community, never give you that. They very rarely will come to you and say, Matt, you've had a lot of reality insights over the years, and there must be, because of what you're saying about this, and I've believed you about these other things in the past, so I'm going to take a leap of faith and believe you here, even though I don't see any of these Mandela effects. But what you're saying, and combined with the residuals, the strange residuals of why would George Bernard Shaw pose wrong, or why would the Chuck Jones website have the defining characteristic about one of the main characters be wrong for who knows how many years. Because of all this, Matt, there must be something to it. I don't see it. I don't think I'll ever see it, Matt, but there must be something to it. They don't give you that. It's very disappointing when people in our own community have the intransigence or act like the normies that they talk so bad about. People in our own community exhibit palace guard characteristics and symptoms. We talk about the palace guard, like my friend Tony, or a defender of reality. Every single Disney movie, horrible. Little Mermaid, destruction of the Little Mermaid. Peter Pan 2 months ago was the destruction of Peter Pan. Tom Hanks in the new Pinocchio is the destruction of the original Pinocchio, trying to destroy the originals. And I keep saying, I haven't done this for a while, but in the past I've sent it to Tony. Here's another one destroyed, Tony. Another one destroyed, Tony. And he'll just come back as a defender of reality, as the palace guard. Matt, there is no conspiracy. No. Just get every movie's destroying every franchise for now 10, 15 years in a row, and there is no conspiracy. So we get on normal people or normies for doing that, but then people in our own community exhibit the same types of symptoms when it comes to the Mandela effect. We're just going to tease him right to the end here, and I'll be finished in just a moment. Here's my favorite.
You're falling for a psyop. You Mandela affected people, you're falling for a psyop.
A psyop? Oh, so the psyop, little blue people came into my attic and rummaged around the VCR tapes, and they changed the VCR tapes, maybe spliced them in the middle of the night while I was sleeping soundly. Little blue people then put a new copy of Moonraker, and then it's a psyop. I see. Here's the next one they pull out. Confabulation.
Confabulation.
What did you say to me?
Confabulation.
Well, sir, why are you trying to use a big word that nobody understands? Well, we understand it now because we've been called that name so many times we just want to jump. But so does that make your argument stronger, sir, trying to use a word that seems big or impressive? Why don't you just say to me that I'm misremembering? You have to use confabulation. Just tell me I'm misremembering, sir. It doesn't add to your argument by trying to use a big word. Like Jude Law said in Cold Mountain, repeating a thing don't improve it. In this case, you could say, just trying to use a big word on me don't improve your argument. The last thing they do to people like me, it's even more frustrating. They'll come forward to me or to the Mandela affected community, and we should be out marching for our rights. They'll say, you guys are just wrong. I remember as a kid, my mom used to read to me Curious George and Had No Tail. I'm sure of it. I remember it was Berenstain Bears. My grandmother read that to me. You guys are wrong. That person does not understand the Mandela effect. First off, I would want you to see there is no right and no wrong. But do you think that would be the basis of my argument against you? If we were taking a podium against each other, I'd be arguing against you that you don't remember it correctly, that Curious George had no tail. See, you have a little thing on your side that I don't have at my podium. I just have a glass of water under my podium. That's it. What you have on your side, the Mandela effect naysayers, you have all of reality and everything that's ever existed on your side, less a few tiny things that I can find called residuals. All of reality is on your side. So do you think that would be the basis of my argument? I'd have to be some sort of retarded attorney to use that as what I'd want to come back against you. I just need you to see that there's so many people saying the same thing. There's so many strange cases of residuals that there's potentially something going on here even if you can't see it. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you, as a kid, I remember, well, yeah, you remember what all of reality reflects. So that's just a genius insight. I understand you remember a certain thing about Curious George, or why would you not remember Berenstain? What I'm asking you to do is, one, as a member of our community, be a big thinker. And after thousands of people keep coming forth saying this thing is real, and then every time they say it's real, these strong residuals that don't really make a lot of sense, like Chuck Jones's own website reflecting what thousands or tens of thousands of people remember about Michigan J. Frog. It's the residuals backed up by the multitudes of people all saying the same thing. So you can either think there's nothing going on and dig in further and be as intransigent as the guy down the cul-de-sac that you blame can't see that all of politics is fake, or you can be big enough to say, you know what? This has been going on long enough. Maybe there's something to this.
Maybe it's just not a psyop and confabulation.
Thanks for listening.